I get a little bit breathless, my thoughts are too big. Can I get some comfort, please? I guess I should have been honest. It breaks in my heart. It's raining down, baby. I'm like a river that's overflowed. The sooner you know it, the less do we hurt. Let me speak the truth. I know you don't want to face it. You think it's too late, but I can see past the rain. Won't you lay it on me? Turn the page and burn it. Let's make up a big bonfire on the beach with the stars as our lighters, and throw our problems in the flame. Throw our problems in the flame. We fell down to the bottom, so bottom up please. We're gonna get over this. I see the smoke in the mirrors, I'm holding the key. One step away from salvation. You're like the ocean, setting me free. Out in the open, I'm picking up speed. No bad thoughts penetrate. Hold me like this is the first time. Our destiny calls, not leaving this incomplete. Won't you lay it on me? Turn the page and burn it. Let's make up a big bonfire on the beach with the stars as our lighters, and throw our problems in the flame. Throw our problems in the flame. And throw our problems in the flames. Ooh, throw our problems in the flames. I get a little bit breathless.
Well, hello, everybody. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Look who's here. Whoop. Look who's here. Hey, Tony. How are you, buddy?
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm doing great, Don. How you doing, buddy?
I am doing fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, the comments are just going to fly by. Unfortunately, I'm by myself here today. Paul has to pick up Angelina. She just came back from Alaska. Another one who now has fallen in love with Alaska. But Tony, you've been traveling. You went on your first transatlantic and your first Norway cruise. What did you think?
It was pretty amazing. So 23 days on the MS Rotterdam. The first part of it was a 13-day crossing. I flew into New York, and then I was on that ship for 8 days as we crossed over with our first port stop in Plymouth in the UK. It was awesome. I can't recommend it enough. I didn't know what to expect on my first crossing, but it was. I thought it would take a long time. Like I thought 8 days at sea would kind of drag by, and it didn't. It went by really fast. And then, of course, you have all those sea days, and you forget what it's like to go to port stop after port stop. And so it was 2 port stops in the UK, and then we stopped in Rotterdam to celebrate the Rotterdam's 150th year anniversary, or Holland America's 150th year anniversary. And then boom, it was a sea day, and then it was Oslo and Copenhagen, then a sea day, then to Amsterdam. And then that kind of 5-day cruise ended. We took on more people, and then I did the other 5-day Amsterdam cruise, and it was sea day. And then we went to Inverness in Scotland. The very next day, we went to Edinburgh in Scotland, then a sea day, and then finally the cruise was over. I thought 23 days would feel like a long time, but it was extremely fast. And honestly, it was probably one of the most amazing times that I've had. I mean, we've had some great adventures, but going to Europe for the first time, I can't recommend it enough to anybody that has any interest in Europe at all. It was amazing.
Yeah, I kind of like it's when the intro was running there, and I saw our time in Japan together when we went there just before everything shut down. And I said, yeah, man, I wish I could go back there. And then I know you were in Norway. I loved Norway when I was there. I was on the Rotterdam as well, as a matter of fact. So the 150th anniversary, was it everything that they kind of said it was going to be, or did you think it was maybe a little bit subdued?
I didn't know what to expect. I'd never seen, I mean, of course, not many companies we know have celebrated 150 years. It was really nice. I mean, you've been on the Rotterdam there, you know, they have that enclosed pool area. And basically, they had, one of those deals where it was an overnight and, dignitaries came from all over the world. Really, there was a lot of people that worked for Holland America Line. And I think the princess of, like, there was some royalty figure there. It was a really nice 2 or 3 hour celebration with dancing and speeches, and for me, it was cool. I don't know if it was good, bad, or indifferent. I'm sure other people have thrown other shindigs, but I really appreciate the historical significance of Holland America Line. I didn't really understand it until we went to Australia on the Noordam, and I saw the history of Holland America. And I think it's neat that just, sometimes we forget that so many people in North America are essentially immigrants from Europe, and that some of these cruise companies that we know played a large part in that, that movement. And so it was neat to kind of celebrate that there on the Rotterdam and to get that appreciation for, Europeans coming to North America. So I thought it was great. I don't know if how it compared to others, but for my first time, I thought it was cool.
Yeah. Just a note to everybody out there: if you have a question, please type question. It's going by like on the chat, so I'll try and catch up. There is a question there, Tony. What is the punishment for today?
The punishment for today, I don't know, man. I'm in such a great mood lately. I almost feel weird, but here's your punishment for today. If you do not hit the like button, you will not be able to go on a cruise for the next 3 years. And so everybody should hit the like button. So that's your punishment. So make sure you hit the like button.
I'm going to go over on my own YouTube there, and I'm hitting myself because I
hit the
have
like
to go
button.
on cruising. I see some. There is a question out there. Somebody is asking because Southwest pilots just voted that they can go on strike. Now, they haven't voted to go on strike. They just voted that they can. So if you could change your flights to another airline right now and you're flying soon, might be a good idea. But if you're going to lose money, don't do it.
I'm flying Southwest on Monday. Hopefully I'll be okay. Hopefully I get back home.
Normally it takes about a week before they'll, by the time they vote to go on strike after, and make the decision. But yeah, a little bit of a scary thing when that pops up. So yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay. So did you tell anybody where we're going yet, Tony?
I think I've talked about it a little bit. No, I don't think it's a secret. So we're, of course, on June the 1st, I'm either flying on the 30th or the 31st. I might be flying on the 30th, but we're flying into London. And then on June the 1st, we're going on 13 days, I believe it is, around the UK. Some really interesting stops. Liverpool. I know we're going to I don't even remember them all. That, like, when I was looking at that itinerary, I think we have 2 sea days and like 9 port stops. So that's going to be, it's going to be go. Like, honestly, Don, I know we haven't talked about it, but if we want to have any videos up at all during that week, we're probably going to have some made in advance.
In the bank. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to be on the go.
Of
course, we're on the go right now. Yeah.
We're going to have some friends on board with us. Who's traveling with us?
Para DJ is going to be on that cruise. So I originally had this cruise booked in July. I met a guy in the casino, and super nice guy. Shout out to Hakuna if he's out there. And he really motivated me to go on this cruise. And then on the Vloggers cruise, I was talking to Para DJ, and they're like, yeah, we're going on the same timing. And I didn't know if I could talk you into it or not. And I'd cruised with Para DJ before, and they're really good at motivating me to get out and do stuff. And so I changed my cruise to then. And then, of course, I was able to talk you into going. So, but yeah, it should be, I think it's going to be fantastic.
It was a pretty hard discussion, folks. He went, "Hey Don, you want to go on a cruise?" I said, "Okay." Is pretty
Yeah, yeah.
much the way it went.
It
Question,
doesn't take much.
not normally.
Yeah.
How do they determine who will get bumped if they oversell another cruise like the Wonder of the Seas? Right now, they haven't had to actually bump anybody. They've had enough people take them up on their offers. They usually offer pretty good compensation, right? 100% refund, 100% future cruise credits. I think a lot of people would jump all over that. It's not like they're overselling by 400 cabins. They're overselling by 30, 40 cabins, but it is a problem that it keeps happening. So yeah, it's too bad because the Wonder is one of my favorite ships. It really is.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on over there. I'm assuming it's something programmatic. Like you should be able to make it where the computer won't overbook a cruise. So I don't know what the deal is. I don't. Of course, when they're doing their financial reporting, they're like, "Hey, we're selling at a high rate," but surely, I mean, the cynic in me goes, "Well, hopefully they're not like overselling to inflate those numbers," which I don't think they could do that and get away with it. But you start to think when the same thing happens over and over again.
Yeah, and yeah, at first you said, "Oh, that's an anomaly." Second one, you said, "Oh, what's going on?" But now it's like it's even happened on Celebrity lately. So
Yeah, it's crazy.
and one Princess ship, the Majestic, was oversold as well. Sorry, the Discovery when we went on the Discovery. So here's a good one. What's your favorite cruise meal, Tony?
I'm going to defer just to my last cruise. They have that Tamarind restaurant. I don't know if you ate there on your Rotterdam experience, but it's like an Asian fusion restaurant, and they had a crispy duck, which was wonderful. So that's my favorite cruise meal lately. I ate at that restaurant 3 times on the 23 days. So, what about you, Don? What's your favorite?
I have a couple. On the Celebrity Edge class ships, the lunch restaurant, specialty dining, they have a lobster bisque. And it is really good. It has that flaky
The French
covering
bistro
over French
place.
pastry. So
Yeah,
good.
that is good.
But another one that I really like is still the chef's table on a Princess ship.
They do it
Especially
nice for
the
sure.
Royal class. They put on such a good show, and the meal is always really, really good. It's still, to me, the best chef's experience at sea right now. So
It does. What was it, like $120 or something? That one that we
something
did,
like
but
that.
it was
Not
good.
like we spent $89 on Izumi, right?
Yeah.
So like it's not that crazy.
Plus, you get a book and a picture, which that's what shocked me on those Princess ones. They really give you a lot of stuff with that chef's table experience.
I'm just reading some of the questions that I'm not going to read.
Oh, really?
People are asking if we're going to meet Emma. Now, you asked me about Emma quickly.
Yeah. So I heard you say on your other video that you may stay an extra day to avoid your flight. I think if you do stay an extra day, the plan is to meet Emma. So she just met with Matt from Royal Caribbean Blog today, and I was like, I can't believe that. That's not very cool that you met with Matt before the rest of us. But no, it's good. We're glad everybody's meeting. But yeah, so I talked to her. She's in Germany when we go over, so we won't be able to meet her then. But if we stay that extra day, we should be able to meet her. So there's a little more motivation if you're able to change your flight.
I'll look into it. I normally book flights that I can change, so at a moment's notice, just in case, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Somebody said we should team up on a regular basis. We've actually been working out doing a podcast and a video podcast. It's just a matter of us slowing down with our travel a little bit. So hopefully maybe on this cruise, we can maybe record a few episodes while we're together, which would be cool.
That would be. Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry if I missed some super stickers, guys. These are just flying by, but I just wanted to, I saw just a couple pop up there. Liz, thank you so much for the super sticker. And we have Jack. Thank you. No, thanks for doing what we do for the community. Well, thank you guys for being the community because it makes our job so much easier, right?
Yeah, honestly, if you guys didn't watch, we wouldn't be able to do this. So you guys really enable. You guys are as responsible for the content as we are. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Dawn, what's this one? Dawn, will you ever consider a cruise from England to Ireland and back? Well, we're doing it next month. Maybe you mean by group. It's hard because most people are from the US, and I can't even sell British Cruises being a Canadian agent. So it makes it really hard. So I'm thinking on a transatlantic, though. That might be a fun group cruise to do.
That'd be interesting, yeah.
Tony, are you going on Don's group cruise? I've been trying to get Tony to come on the Canada cruise in September.
When is that?
September 19th. Yeah.
Where's it go again? Or where's it start?
New York to Quebec.
So yeah, I've been trying to talk Jenny into doing one this summer. So maybe what is it, a princess ship?
Princess, Caribbean Princess. You love that ship?
Yeah. So here's this is exactly what I said to Jenny the other day. So we don't have any cruises July, August, and September currently. When does the one in September end, your cruise?
The 29th in Quebec City.
Perfect. Because there's like a YouTube conference I was going to try to talk you into going to in October, but it's early October. So I told Jenny I want to go on the new Carnival Venezia. I want to see what this Carnival Venezia is, and I've never been to Bermuda. So that ship's doing New York to Bermuda, and I said what we should do is time it out in a way that we can go to Canada after that. And so I had that exact conversation. So maybe I'm glad to know that that's the timing on your Canada cruise. So I'd love to go to Canada with you. Not that you know anything about Canada, but I still would love it anyway.
It's a third world country to me sometimes. So.
That's right. I'll just walk around with you all the time going, what's this about? What's this about, Don? What's this about?
Myra, thank you so much for the super sticker and the chat. And we have a bunch of questions just saying, thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate that. Uh-oh. We call it Quebec. Well, some people do. Yes, they do, Kathy.
I've heard it called Quebec. I don't know. Like I've heard it several different ways.
Quebec. It all depends on how your accent goes. Yeah, a lot of the times. Going on Regent in August. What are any must-dos? Not many videos on Regent. P.S. Tried to get Jenny to go with me. Or Margot.
What's going on, Margot? Margot lives there in Anchorage, Alaska. She was on the. You know Margot, Don.
I know Margot.
She was on one of your excursions there on the Vloggers cruise.
No. The reason there's not a lot of vlogs about Regent Seven Seas and stuff like that is because they're very expensive cruises, and most of us bloggers can't afford it. So we don't get to go. I'd love to be on some of those ships, right? The new Viking ship from the Octanus. Love to go on that ship all the way down into Argentina and all that. But man, the money is crazy. It really is.
They're pretty expensive. Yeah. I think so. I started to make a short list, and I still need to figure out which ships or which lines compare with each other, but I really want to try an Oceania cruise. I'm a fan of Frank Del Rio. I know he's retiring, but he started Oceania. They just named that new Vista ship. I don't know if you saw some of that coverage, but like that was his dream when he started Oceania, and now his son runs it. So I kind of want to try them out as that kind of next tier. But to your point, it's expensive.
It is, yeah. Question: what do y'all think of the new Star Princess? Well, she hasn't been built yet, but I'm pretty excited for the Sun Princess, which is going to be her original ship, right? The new Sphere class. I just read all the new entertainment. They're actually having Quebec Cirque du Soleil performers on board for the shows. It's a company in Quebec, which is pretty cool. I thought, looking forward to a lot of the entertainment. Like the whole dome thing out there is a whole, like you got that one, you got the same thing kind of going on the new Icon where they're changing the Aqua show. So it's a whole new concept, and it's the biggest ship Princess has ever done, right? So.
Well, I don't know if you saw this story, but Margaritaville, they're a little kind of a budget line, but they're also building a dome that they can do a Thunderdome, like Mad Max Thunderdome. So I think they'll have like Gladiator. Maybe not. I don't know if I read that or if I just dreamed it.
I've been it, but I'm on her. I'm on the inaugural sailing in February for the Sun Princess, so I can't wait for that. And it went down $5,000 recently on the suites. So because
Oh
I have two
wow.
cabins booked. I have a
Yeah.
regular cabin and a suite. If the suites go down enough, I'll be in a suite.
Yeah.
But
That's amazing.
yeah, I was really happy to see that. Um, I see Henry. Thank you so much, Henry, for the super chat, a super sticker. Really appreciate it. But right under that, I saw Virgin, more Virgin Cruise content. I think Don hates Virgin. I don't hate it. I just haven't been on to know what it is. That's my
Yeah.
problem.
I think
I
you'd like
know
it, honestly. You need to go on it. Yeah, it's
I do.
that's what
I
you should.
do.
Yeah, yeah,
It's to find the time, right? Between group
yeah.
cruises and transatlantics and Europe and Rome and now I got talked into going to Disney, and I'm a big Disney fan, but I didn't want to go. I really didn't. I think it's too expensive and that, but I bet you I have the best time ever, and they're going to change my mind.
Yeah, I didn't want to call you out because you've been poo pooing Disney, and now you're going. That'll be interesting if they even let you in there. Like they may have your picture posted. Like, here's the guy that hates us. We're not letting him in.
I know,
I
right?
kind of want you to go to Disney because I want you to film that Star Wars area. I want to see Don's Star Wars perspective.
Oh yeah. Well, it may be popping up because I'll be there. And starting tomorrow. I leave first thing tomorrow morning. I'm not even going to sleep tonight because I have all this work to do before I go, and then I'll be jumping on a plane at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. My son's already
Wow.
upstairs, so he's all set to take over the house again while I'm gone. So he loves it when I leave because he gets my house, and my house is better than my old apartment where he still lives. Question: how are things going on your group cruise to Alaska for May? It's going pretty darn good. I've outsold the cabins 4 times, so we have over 200 cabins now on that cruise. Very
Oh
happy
wow.
about that. But and people are still inquiring about it, so I have to keep asking for more cabins. I booked 3 more today. So yeah, really crazy. It's going to be an amazing cruise. I hope it goes with everybody on board because we'll take over the ship. Because not only do I know the entertainers, I know the cruise director, I know the captain. So it should be a lot of fun on that ship. Boom. Best wishes to Don. Tony, it was great to see your visit your dad and your children.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's been a whirlwind last few days. It was great to see my mom, and then I saw a couple of the kids last night, and then there's actually another kid right over there. I'm in a different city with a different kid today, so yeah, it's been good. I got one more day in Kentucky, and I fly back Monday from Nashville back to Tampa. So yeah, it's been a nice little break, even though it's been busy. It's been a nice little break, just getting to see some folks I haven't seen in a little bit. So it's been exciting.
Yeah, it's also pretty emotional too. Like both my parents are buried in Nova Scotia, so every time I go down there, I get all kind of choked up because it's been so long since you don't travel 2,000 miles on a weekend to visit a tombstone, right? But when you get there, it just hits you. It just does.
Yeah, that is the just hit you part is so weird because like when I rolled up, I didn't think it would hit me. Like it's been 30 years,
Yeah.
but man, still that it takes you right back. Like you're there, and I just remember those moments, and yeah, it was. But it was good. Like at the same time, it was very cathartic, and at the on the way out of there, I feel very excited that I went there. It wasn't really part of the plan, and it just when I was talking to my mom the previous night, I was like, yeah, he is going to be 80, and then I'm like, it's just right there. I should stop, and so I'm really glad that I did.
Question: what are the most interesting places you have cruised to? Mine would be Primidien?
Oh wow.
Oh, yes, Svalbard, northwest of Iceland, on the Fred Olsen cruise line. I butchered that name, I'm pretty sure. That's a pretty good destination. I still say, since I started the channel, I'd have to say Japan was my most interesting one. I really super enjoyed, and being in China.
China was
It's
wild.
a country that everyone can go to Japan. Not too many people go to China too often. So that was kind of cool as well.
Yeah, China was neat. Of course, Sydney still blows my mind. I
Yeah.
mean, I know it may not be super exotic, but it was one of the coolest places I've ever been. And I mean, that was just really where the cruise began for us. So, it's we've been really lucky this year to see some pretty interesting places, and of
Yeah.
course,
And more to come.
Japan's still up there, and more to come. Yeah, so it's gonna be great.
I know my blue crew on board have been thanking people. Like I said, I'm trying to keep up with everybody. But Joe, thank you so much for the super chat. And then we have a super sticker here from Stephanie. And I see Jim's online, Mark's online, and Paul is just taking it easy tonight. He misses his wife. She's been gone a whole week. But
You guys been keeping up with the movies? I saw the Super Mario Brothers last night. Did you guys watch that?
we've seen that one as well. Yeah, there's not a lot of movies. Like we just saw Guardians, but there was
Yeah,
nothing out this week.
right.
So next
Yeah.
week is Fast X, then it's Little Mermaid, then it's Transformers. Are the next 3 weeks of movies coming out?
Nice. I think
And
there
we
might be
got
a new Spider-Man something coming too, that animated.
yeah,
Yeah,
Into the Spider-Verse kind of thing. Yeah.
yeah.
Cruising with Eric. Thanks. Just joined live. Sorry if I missed it, but let's talk about how much it sucks that NCL has slashed the housekeeping staff. They're not the only ones, though. They're not the only ones, right? Other cruise lines have started cutting back now as well. The only way around it is to stay in a suite because the suites
It's still nice. Yeah,
are still getting the double service. But yeah, they're looking to save money wherever they can. I like the double service. I like getting into bed at night if I took a nap and the bed's back to being made. And that really caught me off guard on my resort stay I just did in Jamaica because they didn't do that and I was expecting it to be done. So the difference between cruising and hotels sometimes is a big difference. How do you feel about that, Tony?
yeah. So I'm pretty much down to one service a day. I do feel what's troubling though is basically it feels like they've basically doubled up the workload. They go to the one service a day, but then they give the stewards more or cabin attendants more rooms to clean. And so
Yeah.
I find myself now just feeling like, maybe clean it every other day. What I do miss about the 2 times a day is you had an option. Like if you wanted to stay and work in the morning, you knew you could get your cleaning at night, or now it's a little bit of a challenge because you don't want them waiting all day or to clean your room. So it's one of those changes that the companies are making to try to get financially profitable and to wipe out their debt. And it's sad. And the thing that I wonder is, they're continuing to bring new people into cruising. And so I wonder, like a few years from now, where nobody will even remember except, just, the millions of us that had cruised previously, but there'll be a whole next generation of cruisers that, 1 time a day is what they think's normal. So it's a bummer, I think. Yeah, I like that level of service, but I don't think it's coming back.
No, and you know what? There's some vloggers out there that I used to watch a lot. I still watch them once in a while. They're Disney vloggers. The Diz Unplugged, Tim Tracker, people like that, and they always said same thing. Disney fans hate change in the parks, but when they make the change, they end up loving what's replacing it because they get used to it. I don't know if we'll
Yeah.
love not having the double service, but we will get used to it.
Yeah, I was gonna say time will pass and it'll
Yeah.
just be is what it is kind of thing.
Yeah. I see Dean here. Hey, Dean, we're going on our first cruise in July. Thanks for all. Well, welcome to cruising because
Yeah.
when you start, you won't want to stop. Right?
Prepare to be addicted. Yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 guys right here that went on their first cruise and never stopped. So
Exactly.
Janet has a question. Solo traveler and have only sailed on NCL and booked for Transatlantic on Enchanted Princess. Where do I find the fun on Princess? Worried it won't be there. I don't think you have to worry too much, especially about a ship like the Enchanted. As long as you like the Broadway shows, the game shows, the pool deck parties, there will be lots of fun on a Princess ship. And that you got to go to the Piazza too. Like they have all kinds of entertainment in the Piazza on those transatlantic cruises. And don't be afraid to make a fool of yourself, right? That's half the fun.
I'm pretty sure they have some single meet and greets also. I most cruise lines do. I'm pretty sure that's true on Princess. So I think it's just the same way on NCL. You just got to get in the mix and go from there.
Don, come back to Orlando and see us, please. Well, I'm going tomorrow, so
Yeah,
you got your wish, Kathy. I'm on
yeah.
my way. uh, oh, okay. I better answer this one. How am I feeling after the biopsy? It was a weird process, guys. It really was. If you saw my video on Just On, but I'm not in any pain, and nothing's hurting whatsoever. I came out of the operator and I went straight to doing groceries before I went home. Now, on that, the doctor did say one good thing, and he said, "Somebody's okay. Phone, go away." They texted me. The doctor said when he went in for the biopsy, he said he had a real hard time because it was so small. The target was so small that he had to go to. So that's a good thing. That means there's not a big thing inside of me. There's a little thing. Chances are, though, it is going to be a tumor, and it's going to have to be come out. And they already told me they're going to go in and do it. And the doctors all had a meeting, and my doctor called me again. And I have the best doctors here in Ottawa. I have no doubt about it. So whatever they say to do, I'm going to do. But I feel pretty darn good. If I didn't, I wouldn't be going to Disney tomorrow. So I feel pretty darn good. But thank you so much for asking. I really appreciate that. Try and scroll down here. Boom. Question: have you done a Christmas cruise? They're going on the Viva in December. Have you done a Christmas cruise yet, Tony? I know you do Halloween a lot.
Yeah, I've never done a Christmas cruise. We've cruised during December where ships have been decorated for Christmas, but never actually over the Christmas holiday. I'm sure it'll be a blast. These cruise lines, they do a great job during the holidays. I've cruised on Easter and I've cruised on the 4th of July. I've cruised on Canada Day. I've cruised on Halloween. And on all of those occasions, the cruise line usually does something to celebrate or to do something in line with the holiday. So, I can't imagine a better place to be at Christmas or on New Year's Eve than on a cruise ship. And if you could get all your family on there with you, that would be even better. But yeah, I think you'll have a great time.
Yeah, I've actually done Circle the Caribbean 14-day cruise at Christmas. So I covered Christmas and New Year's. And like they even pumped snow into the theater during some of the
that's
shows
wild.
and that. It was really, really well done. So yeah, I think you'll have a good time. I really do. Don is so high class, he's not a budget cruiser. Well, a balcony is pretty much my normal cabin. But I tell you, I do like to indulge in the specialty restaurants when I can, or something like that. But we don't spend a lot of money when we go on exorbitant things when we normally travel. The only time I will go overboard is if I bring somebody with me and I want to show them a good time. Like my friend Alicia before, because I knew it was going to be our last cruise for a while. She got married. She's having a baby. She's not going to be able to cruise for a while. So I went all out. I got 2 suites and hotels, and we spent a ton of money, but we had a memorable cruise as our send-off. And so, yeah. But other than that, I wish I had the money to be a high-class cruiser, but I'm pretty much stuck in that balcony room right now. Have you ever considered doing a group cruise on Celebrity's new Edge class series of ships? They ask me all the time to do group cruises on Celebrity. Trouble is, I can't book insurance for U.S. people. So if 95% of my audience on the cruise is a U.S. cruiser, I can't put you insurance. I have to go through a third party. And so they're trying to work on it. And if they can ever solve it, then I can go with, Celebrity and Royal Caribbean and do a group cruise on them. I would love to go on the Celebrity Beyond with Captain Kate for a cruise. I'm sure she would put on something special for us. But I'm not going to try and sell a cruise where I can't get people insurance. Because that's, as probably Tony with his tips, number 1 tip: do not leave without health insurance.
Yeah, you got to get the insurance. No, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
Cynthia, thank you so much, Cynthia, for the super sticker. And we had Swimming with the Fishes. Don, have you applied to be the godfather for Princess Cruises? I think they only have godmothers on a Princess Cruise, unfortunately. But they just lost John. How do you pronounce it? John Cherchesky. He's moved over to Norwegian now. And so he used to be the face. He used to do all the videos for them and stuff like that. He used to be kind of like the brand ambassador, like John Hill. And I kind of, well, if only there was, another likable person who's used to being in front of the camera that recommends Princess all the time. Maybe they could give somebody a call if you're looking, Princess.
I
think I
could
could do
see
that
you
job
being
pretty good.
yeah, I definitely could see you being Princess's brand ambassador. That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
I think so. I talk about him enough. Brenna, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey Don and hey Tony, nice to see you two together again. I would love to join you on the British Isle cruise. I'm called Jenny B. Well, Jenny B, we are on the Regal Princess, right?
Yeah.
On June 1st.
Yeah, Brenna, give her a call. Come on.
Yeah, if
we'd be
that's
glad
the
to
cruise
see
you're
you.
on, we're on.
Yeah.
Stephanie, Don, how are things going with your group cruise for Alaska? Oh, I guess I've already answered that. It's going fantastic. I can't even keep up with it. How are the Alaskan Maid going? Any updates, any changes? No, 200 cabins and still counting. I did order some more. So as soon as Princess gets some more to us, we'll try and sell that going again. Doing the Prima in September. Northern Europe cruise. Prima must-dos. Ideas on dress for that time frame. September,
So,
getting cold.
I can talk to Prima stuff to do on the. You haven't been on. Have you been on the Prima
I haven't
yet?
been on the Prima yet. No.
Yeah. Prima's pretty nice. It depends. The venues are small, so if you want to see anything in Sid Norman's or the Comedy Club, you're gonna have to. It's like Disney. You're gonna have to go like an hour and a half early. Do that. Also, make sure you utilize the food hall. That's a really nice alternative to the main dining room. But the big knock for me on the Prima is all the venues are small. So if you really wanted to do certain things, you've got to get there early. So what I did was I would just, when I got up every day, I would make sure to look at the planner and kind of make a plan for, doing the things that I wanted to do. So I knew whether to be there early or not. And of course, like you said, the dress for that time of the year in September in Northern Europe, I've never been there in September, but on this on the Transatlantic that I just did, we had very hot days and then we had very cool days. And so I think the general advice is just to bring clothes that you can layer, where you can, take jackets on and stuff like that. I think you'd be okay even in September that way.
I did. The ship looked beautiful. It really does.
It is really nice. I'm excited that they're going to make there's six ships in that Prima class. Or I don't even think that's what they call it. It's got another name for that class. But the Viva is going to be the same design and size as the Prima. But then the second and the third ships, or the third and the fourth ships, are going to be 10% bigger. And then the fifth and sixth ships are going to be 20% bigger, but all kind of the same design. So it seems like they're trying to adjust some of the challenges, fix some of the challenges.
Quickly, while we were on the topic of Virgin Cruise Line, I know Virgin's going to have a sailing, I think, from Quebec this year or next year.
Oh, wow.
Be an interesting one. And right now in Europe, two of their ships, if you're a solo cruiser, no single supplement. You don't have to pay the double fee. Really pretty darn good deal there, I thought.
That's really good, yeah.
I wish I didn't have to come back right away. I would have booked one of their ships from our trip when we got back. But I have to be because I'm kind of speaking at a ceremony when I come back, so I kind of have to be here. Filthy McNasty. I like that. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Don, Tony, quick thoughts on Port Canaveral. Cheers from sunny Florida. I hope it's sunny next week. I really do. Port Canaveral. I think they're worried about some issues now when at Kennedy Space Center and when the SpaceX launches, that there's going to be a lot of traffic in that area with how busy the cruise ports are now. Plus, they're building the new terminal as well to expand, and they've already passed Miami. So pretty much the biggest cruise place in the world now, right? Cruise port in the world.
Yeah.
But I always found it seemed less hectic than the smaller ports. I think it's more spread out, and I think it's just easier to get to and easier to sail from. But what are your thoughts on it, Tony?
Yeah, I mean, as it gets more crowded, the infrastructure is going to be challenged. Like you said, sometimes there's some serious traffic issues getting into Port Canaveral. But if you're somebody that gets there the day before your cruise, I find it to be one of the easiest ports to get to the cruise ship. There's a lot of good restaurants for dinner and breakfast, lunch, all that kind of stuff there. And then there's hotels that are really close to the cruise port. There's like a Holiday Inn, there's the Comfort Inn and Suites, there's Radisson Resort at the port, and all of those places have shuttle services. And so if you engage those shuttle services, they're just going to drop you off right at the terminal, which is really nice. Again, they're going to be a little more challenged as they continue to put more cruise ships there. We just heard that the Caribbean Princess is going to go there in 2024. First time Princess is sailing out of Port Canaveral. So I think it's going to continue to grow as a hub. I think what you're going to see is some growing pains. It's going to take a little bit for the infrastructure to catch up with the growth, which is unfortunately the way it works. The growth usually comes and then the infrastructure has to be adjusted. But I hope it still maintains that ease of use kind of port. I think there's going to be some growing pains over the next year or so, though.
Yeah. It's also nice, though, that all those attractions are within an hour's drive, right? Like you can combine your land and sea trip. Makes it so much easier. Where not too long ago, it was just if you wanted to cruise, it would be considered you'd have to go on a Disney cruise, right? If you're doing like a land sea. And now there's so many different cruise ships, and a lot of the new ones are there. So I'm pretty excited about it. A question: full transit, Fort Lauderdale to Panama and back. Wow. In January on the Rotterdam. Any must-do excursions? I don't know if there's must do. The one that we didn't get to do on our Transatlantic was when you actually get to get off the ship and take the train down in Panama. I wish we would have been able to do that. And you meet the ship further down in Panama.
Oh, yeah.
I would have liked to see, because they'd have this whole history talk and things like that on the train as well. I really wish I would have been able to do that. If you have a chance to do that one, I would jump on that one.
Yeah, we went to Colombia, and then of course once we got through the Panama Canal, we stopped at the Mexican Riviera ports or Hualtuco. I can't remember which ports we stopped at. I don't know anything that was a must do, but I would have loved to stop there in Panama City, which our transit didn't do. So I agree with you. I would have liked to stop in Panama to have some more perspective on the canal, which would have been cool.
Bruce has a question. Do I book my next cruise with the good-looking Mr. Don or the beautiful Jenny? Always side on the side of beauty. Jenny will look after you. Absolutely positive. She has a whole team working for her. So,
Team Jen.
But I have the lovely Angelina.
That's right. So there's beauties on both sides.
Job,
yeah, that's right.
So either one will help you out. And Retro Sarge is in the house.
My brother. My brother's going to have his first Alaska. Oh, I'm sorry.
Here's his Cuba.
Yeah, so that might have been in response. Yeah, we were fortunate. His second cruise, my second cruise also, we went to Cuba. So that was a pretty exotic place to go, which a lot of U.S. people, we can't go, right? The embargo's back on for us. I know Canadians can always go to Cuba, but yeah, I'm excited. Retro Sarge is going to have his first Alaskan experience in September. So I'm excited to see my brother.
With you, right?
Yeah, we're going. We're trying Carnival in Alaska, which is interesting. That'll be the third different cruise line I've tried in Alaska. I want to go next year and go on a Holland ship, I think. So that'd be kind of interesting.
Are you taking the Spirit?
Taking the Spirit, yeah. We're crashing. Sharon, you met Sharon and C and Jamie on the Vloggers cruise, so they're having a group cruise and we're crashing that one. So it should be fun.
Cool. Michael, thank you for the super chat question. Have you seen the Bay of Fundy caves? Actually, I've never been to the caves in the Bay of Fundy. Been to the Bay of Fundy a few times, but no, haven't been to the caves. I can't help you. How about yourself, Tony? Probably not, I'm
I,
guessing.
I've never been to the Bay of Fundy, and I've never been to the caves. Where's the Bay of Fundy? What part of the world is that?
It's over there. It's up here in Canada.
Oh, okay, nice. Is that part of the
Because
Maritimes?
you haven't taken a Canada cruise. That's why I knew you haven't been there.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm trying to concentrate on this live stream, but all I'm thinking about is your Alaska, or not your Alaska, but your Canada group cruise. So
There you go. I know some good rates. So, okay. I have to put this one in. My son answered from upstairs saying, Dad, the apartment isn't so bad, but having a laundry in the house is nice. Yeah, I bet it is. Oh, let's see. Have you ever considered doing a North American river cruise, Tony?
maybe a little bit, not really. So every time, like, the interesting thing is, I was in Paducah, Kentucky earlier today, and it's a fascinating city that sits right on the Ohio River. And the American Steamboat Company, part of their river cruises, actually stop in Paducah. It's the home of the National Quilting Museum, and there's some things that the town's notorious for, in addition to some of my family living there. What's really neat is they have a seawall there for when the river rises, and so taking all of that in, when I was down there standing on the banks of the river today, looking out at the water of the Ohio, I was thinking, maybe. But there's so many things that are missing on a European river cruise and a U.S. river cruise. Like, there's no big shows, there's no casino. And so it's hard for me to get motivated on that when I know I could spend my travel dollars on a cruise that would go to exotic locations that would include those things. I would do it for the sake of the experience, but it's a hard decision for me. I've seen some videos, like Jim Zim did a river cruise down the Snake River out west, and it looked boring. So I don't know. I don't know, man. Like, are you up for? Because, like, for me, I don't know how it is. Like, when you think of cities in Canada, if I want to go to St. Louis or Nashville or Paducah,
Hop
I'm
in
just
the
gonna
car.
drive. I'm just gonna drive there. Like, I don't need to jump on the riverboat. I mean, it's different if I'm doing the Rhine or something, and I want to see Budapest and 5 other countries. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think? A North American cruise for you, river cruise?
They're getting some really nice ships now, right? Like the Viking Octanus is here.
The
The
Actantis is
American
nice. Yes, yes.
Riverboat Company has brand new ships out. I'm really tempted to take something somewhere, but
Yeah.
again, it's one of those things about the cost, right? They're also more
It's very
expensive than
expensive.
an ocean cruise. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw a quick question. I don't think I'm going to get to it, but I see it on the other computer here. Benefit of booking through a travel agent versus cruise directly. Well, you can take a lot of the extra stress off yourself because it's the travel agent's job to make sure that if the price goes down, they refare you. Or if a better deal comes along with different perks, they can let you know and things like that. Plus, you can ask them questions about your destination if you happen to go with somebody who's been there before. Where if you're doing it on your own, you're on your own and you got no recourse. You don't pay any more to have a travel agency. Now, some people think it's a little inconvenient because when you want to make payments in that, you got to contact the agent and they make the payments for you. But other than that, during if you ask anybody when that pandemic hit and all the cruises got canceled, who was happier, the ones who had an agent or the ones who were on the phone for 40 hours trying to get their money back? The ones who had an agent. That's the best thing you can say about an agent.
Yeah, my brother-in-law said it this way the other day. Like, if you were going to go buy a brand new car, and you could have somebody that has bought thousands of cars and they know all the ins and outs of the auto car business, and they're going to just go with you and advise you and help you and answer any of your questions, and it costs you $0, you'd probably take the car guy with you or the car person with you, right?
Yeah.
And so I thought that was a pretty neat analogy, because that's essentially what happens in the travel business. Even if you don't save any money, for zero money at all, you can have an expert guide you through the process. Now, some people love to do it all on their own. I would never, if that's the kind of person who you like to obsess and you like to book everything on your own, then you might get annoyed using a travel agent. But in all honesty, like I know Don, you probably booked thousands of cruises. Jenny B has booked thousands of cruises, and most people out there that are casual cruisers have not booked thousands of cruises, and so they don't have that same level of expertise. Um, so yeah, it doesn't cost you anything, and you get a whole expert to help you out. That may not appeal to everybody, but certainly, if I think of it in the context of buying a car or something like that, I would love to have an expert with me when I'm making my decisions. Simple things, even like where should you book your cabin on the cruise? Like I know you do it. Jenny does it. Like we're looking to make sure you're not going to get booked over the discotheque, or you're not going to that kind of thing. So it's one of those old debates in cruising, but again, I think it depends. If you go into it saying, "Oh, I don't need a travel agent. Why would I use a travel agent?" Then you probably shouldn't use a travel agent.
Yeah.
But if you don't have that kind of feeling either way, then you probably should use a travel agent.
Yeah. And if something goes wrong and you're spending all that time, that's the time you'll regret not having the travel agent.
Yeah, for sure.
Question here. When flying into Anchorage for an Alaskan cruise, what's the best way to get to the port in Whittier? They have trains and buses running all the time. You just have to book it through the cruise line and you can get there. That's not really an issue. They're like constantly back and forth. So I don't think you have a problem that way.
Nice.
My family will be sailing out of Vancouver, going to Hawaii. Nice. On Ovation of the Seas. What can I expect with all the sea days to start my cruise? A lot of water, a lot of relaxation. They will put on stuff to do. Obviously, you're on a big ship, the Ovation, but the best part of those kind of sailings is that, like, that's one of the reasons I don't know about you, Tony, but I found Transatlantics, Trans-Pacifics with a lot of sea days. You come back so much more relaxed than you do on a Caribbean cruise, because you don't have to get up in the morning. It's okay to lounge around in your room before getting up and going to do stuff. And I just come back so much more relaxed and fresh. I really enjoy having those sea days.
I loved it. I didn't know what to expect, but 8 sea days in a row was amazing. Yeah, to your point, you just do whatever you want, and it was very low stress, and I can't wait to do the next one.
Yeah. Chris Ryback. Hi, Chris. I talk to Chris all the time. Super sticker. Thank you so much, Chris, on that. I have another one quickly down here. Hi, Don. We're enjoying the live. Can you please wish Mary a happy birthday? Well, Mary, happy birthday. You gonna sing for us, Tony? Little happy birthday? You have a better voice than I do.
Whose birthday is it, Mary?
Mary.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mary out there on the internet. Happy birthday to you. There you go.
Yeah, again, happy birthday and many, many, many more, Mary. Question, Don, Tony, I just arrived. Connie, you're late. You're late, Connie. Do you have a future travel plans together? And hi, Jenny. Yes, we have lots of plans to travel together. Maybe more now after talking to Tony into maybe going to Canada.
That's right.
But we're sailing next month, June 1st. We'll be on another cruise together, and I'm sure before the end of the year, we're going to be on more than that. Pretty positive. It usually works out that way, right?
Yes, it does. Especially when I've got 90 days with no cruises. We'll be talking Don into something.
Yes. Hey, if I can go, I'm going. So it's pretty simple as that. Oh, man. Good. So many questions. I'm trying to get to some that haven't been repeats.
Somebody said shout out to Ludacris. Yes, shout out to Ludacris. There you go.
Alrighty. Do you think you both can book an entire ship for a Don and Tony private cruise? Well, depending on the ship, I think we could come close. Some of those ships.
Can we book 1,000 cabins together? Probably. Like if it was a couple years out and we marketed it pretty heavily.
There was some popular destination like Alaska.
Yeah,
I think we
probably.
could probably do, and if we did the whole ship, we could get a better rate, right? So
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that would be a big selling point.
that would be interesting. Yeah, the thing is, like, if you charter something, you got to throw a lot of money up front.
Yeah.
The way the system works now, like, and I saw somebody with a question about group cruises and getting free stuff. The cool thing about cruising is anybody can host a group cruise and anybody can get the benefits of being a host. Like if you have the ability to bring paying customers to the cruise line, you will get the benefit of that. And um, so it works two ways. You can host a group cruise and take some cabins out and hopefully fill those cabins up. That's not that expensive. But if you charter out a cruise, you got to pay for all those cabins up front, which that is expensive.
Yeah, and people, yeah, and people sometimes think that, oh, you get all these extra benefits because you book cruises and everything, or free because we're on YouTube, we get free cruises. In my entire 6 years of doing YouTube, I've been on 2 free cruises, and they were both Holland America.
Yeah, Holland's
that invited us to that, and I told everybody it was a, we have to we tell people right away, yes, Holland's paying for this. There, we still paid for our own flights and our own hotel and things like that. And unfortunately, one of the cruises was in Australia, and it cost us on New Year's Eve a ton of money to fly there. But that
one was worth it. It was so worth it, though. Yeah,
it was so worth it. I'd do it again. But yeah, we don't usually get a lot of free stuff. Like I said, the best thing about an agent and stuff like that is that they're there to help you. And people think you get amazing rates when you book big groups and stuff like that. Not sometimes, depending on the cruise line, they'll offer you a discounted rate. But quite often, by the time the cruise sails, the prices have refared to what that price is. So it kind of takes it all out of the system. Super sticker from P-Beth W. Alrighty. I did that one already. Question. Boom. Are either of you going on the inaugural sailing of the Icon of the Seas? I would love to meet you both. I am on the Icon. I did not book the inaugural. I'm waiting about 4 weeks because we experienced the Wonders inaugural sailing and nothing was ready. The entertainment wasn't ready, some dining was still closed, and they were slow getting shore excursion stuff ready. So I give them, because it's such a big ship and so many moving parts, you want to give them time to get into sync. And that. How about you? Have you thought about it?
There's something nice about, so when we booked the Wonder, I thought, wow, it'd be cool to be the first people to go on a cruise. And then like you said, we didn't have a great time. I mean, it was a great time to be with everybody, but everything that we wanted to see on the ship wasn't particularly ready. So I'm kind of the mindset now that unless there's some extraordinary circumstance, I'm just going to wait for a little bit. And, because we make videos and stuff like that, it's like, oh, I'll be the first one to get a ship tour out or something like that. And I've kind of had to let that thought process go in my mind. And I would just rather go when the cruise is ready. And so Icon, I definitely want to check it out, but I'll probably be the 100th person to check it out. Like you said, 4 weeks later, 8 weeks later, I just want to start seeing the reports where this is amazing and everything's going good because, we pay for our cruises, right? And so I don't want to pay for something that's half baked that if I waited 6 weeks that it would be a better experience. So I do want to try Icon, but it's going to be a little bit.
Tamara. Hi, Tamara. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Really do appreciate it. And just time for a couple. It's almost the hour already, Tony. How fast was that?
Yeah.
A question from Not All Who Wander Are Lost. That's a cool name as well. When insurance asks if trip payments left and cruise is paid in full, but flights, etc., are not booked yet, how do you answer? It depends. If you are if you want to have your flights covered as well, and you're doing the insurance like through a third party, I always guesstimate roughly what I think my flights are going to cost as well. You don't have to prove it. You'll only have to prove it if something happens and you're looking for your money back. So you're better to overestimate than underestimate, because if you underestimate, often they'll just say, "Oh, sorry, you only insured yourself for $2,000." The biggest and most important, though, is still the medical. Have as much medical as you possibly can. Make sure you have evacuation insurance.
Yeah,
On
the
all your trips.
evacs. I feel like I mean, the actual medical care, obviously there's going to be some expensive stuff there, but I feel like the big numbers that we see are those evac numbers.
Yeah. Did I just? Yes, I did put that one up. Okay. I thought another one popped up and I didn't want to miss it. All right. Well, Tony, it is 9 o'clock on the nose, my friend. You and I are going to see each other in, what is today, the 13th?
Yep.
So we'll be meeting again in roughly 20 days.
Yes.
Chuck, you're throwing one in there on me, buddy. Hi, Chuck. So glad to see you both on a live tonight. Tony's video today was rough. Great show. I agree. That's why I said I got kind of emotional myself, because it brought back memories of my mom and dad and my grandma.
It's a wild thing, and I'll try to say it real quick because I know we're getting out of here. Like, we all experience, most of us, right? Will experience the loss of our parents, and it's weird that there's really we all have that common experience, but there's really nothing that prepares you for it. And so, I guess I just take comfort in the fact, knowing that we're not unique in the fact that that we'll all experience that. So, it's good. I think it's good. That's what I wanted to say. The takeaway as I edited that video and I rewatched it and felt those emotions again is that it's just good that we feel like that. Because could you imagine if you didn't feel anything at all when you thought about your parents or something like that? And so it's I guess that's the silver lining for me, that at least we feel that, right? And so that's good.
Yeah. One last thing I wanted to answer, because somebody's asking me about, do I have a WhatsApp for people in the States who want to talk to me? Unfortunately, I don't use WhatsApp, because if you notice, whenever we get people trying to scam people on our YouTube channel, they're advertising as me on YouTube with WhatsApp. And I don't want to get anybody confused. So I tell people, no, if you send me an email and ask me for my phone number, I will give you my phone number. But I don't use WhatsApp, because too many chances of people getting hurt or scammed under my name, and I will not have. I don't want to be responsible for that whatsoever, and that's the real reason I don't do that. All right, folks, it's been an hour. My buddy Tony, thank you so much for coming on board, buddy.
Thanks for having me, Don. I appreciate it. Thanks, everybody.
We got to get the podcast going. We keep talking about it. Well, we're going to be cruising in 20 days. Maybe we'll start filming it right then and there on the spot, and we'll have it ready
for sure
when we get back. But that sounds like a lot of fun. Until next time, everybody, I hope everyone's having a fantastic day, and I have you safe and a great vacation. Send us off, Tony.
Thanks, everybody, for being here tonight. We sure do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button. This is Tony and Don, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido.
Don't forget.
Bye.
Don't forget.
Cruising.
Thanks, everybody. See you in the next video.